Tomorrow will be the last day of school. Jerry is coloring some pictures that show what he plans to do during his summer vacation. Let's see what his plans are. For one thing, he and his sister Jane are going to take good care of the garden they planted last spring. Of course, he and his father are going fishing this summer, as they usually do. And this very weekend, they're going to visit Grandfather's farm. They haven't seen the farm since spring, and here's a chance to see how the animals that were born in the spring have grown, especially the colt. Look how fast the little colt can run. Grandfather sells horses to riding stables. He used to sell horses to farmers, but nowadays most heavy work on the farm is done by tractors. Jane and Jerry love horses. They have 101 questions to ask Grandfather about them. In the next pasture, the ponies are grazing. Jane hopes to ride the baby pony someday. She'll try to make friends with the pony by giving him a treat. Oats are Pony's favorite food. The other ponies want some oats too. Nearby, Jerry has found 2 young goats. He's feeding them grain. Jerry and Jane crowd a lot into their weekend visit. Grandfather takes them to see the sheep and lambs. These lambs were also born this spring. How much they've grown since then. Jane would like to feed the little black lamb, but it always runs away. But Grandfather catches it for her. The lamb's wool feels so fine and soft and curly. Wool's used for making clothes. Clothes made of sheep's wool help keep us warm. Jane's sweater is made of wool. Next, Grandfather takes them down the road to the strawberry patch. There they can pick juicy, ripe strawberries. Strawberries grow close to the ground. All summer long, different kinds of fruits grow and ripen. It takes many strawberries to fill a bucket, but it's worth it when you know that Grandmother will bake them into a juicy strawberry pie. The children like it piping hot right out of the oven. This sure does taste good. Jane is quick to agree. There's nothing quite like Grandmother's fresh strawberry pie. And a glass of fresh cold milk from Grandfather's cows. On this hot, midsummer day, Jerry is going fishing with his father and his dog Sparky. They decide to try their luck in the quieter water above the dam today. A fishing trip is fun for Sparky, He can be turned loose to roam along the banks while Jerry and his father fish. Mr. Frank scoops up a minnow from the minnow bucket and puts it on the hook. Minnows make good bait for fishing. Once the lines are dropped into the water, there's nothing to do but wait for the fish to take the bait. In the shallow water near the bank, a frog is croaking. This spring, it was a tadpole. In the shallow water, a small bluegill is resting in the brilliant sun. Look, Jerry's bobber is moving. Should he pull in his line? His father tells him to keep the line taut so as not to lose the fish. Sure enough, Jerry has caught a fish, a bullhead. Not a big one, not big enough to keep. So Jerry tries again. There are many insects about in summertime. The grasshoppers are fully grown by midsummer. And so are mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are pretty bad near the water's edge. The afternoon sun is hot. Sparky feels warm in his fur coat, even though it is thinner now than in winter. He cools off by panting. Mr. Frank and Jerry are warm too, but they can fit their clothes to the weather. Mr. Frank can cool off by taking off his shirt. In the quiet waters above the dam, a young duck is cooling herself. But listen, it sounds like a thunderstorm is coming up. Summer storms can be violent, but they often bring relief from the heat. Warm summer rains help make farm crops grow. Mr. Frank and Jerry had better hurry home to get under cover. The rains help Jerry's and Jane's garden to grow, too. Besides rain, the garden needs the warmth and light of the summer sun. The warmth and the sunlight during the long summer days make everything in the garden grow. For in summer, the earth grows most everything we eat. By now, the many vegetables in the backyard garden are ready for picking. In summer, the flower garden is in full bloom, too. On the flowers, the honeybees are busy gathering nectar. They use this nectar to make honey. From the flowers, the bees carry the nectar to the beehive. The cherry tree in the backyard is covered with ripe cherries, ready for canning. The red raspberries are also ripe for picking. The birds are getting fat on the ripe fruit. And the squirrels are beginning to fatten up. The chipmunks are collecting berries to eat. Summer is a beautiful season, too. Colorful butterflies flit from flower to flower. Jane is gathering a bouquet of late summer flowers for the dinner table. Billy takes his fresh vegetable salad to the terrace in the garden. In summertime, the Franks often eat dinner out of doors, because in summer the sun sets quite late. As the summer progresses, the days are getting shorter. Every day the sun sets a little earlier, leaving less and less daylight for the children to play outdoors after dinner. Sparky, too, shares the outdoor dinner. The whole family enjoys the dinner in the setting sun and listens to a free concert by the summer insects and the bullfrogs. Jerry's thinking, what a wonderful summer vacation he and Jane have had. But soon it will be over, and it will be time for them to go back to school. Then Jerry will color some new pictures. Pictures that will tell all about the happy times they had in the out of doors in summer.